Totally. And I mean, I take my hat off to Indian Clashers. They are slowly getting there, aren't they? Qualifying into, well, the qualifiers last year. Not quite making it to the final, so like you said, they haven't got this top level experience, but it seems like they are slowly moving in the right direction, beating the Queen Walkers last weekend. Let's see if they can hold it together against the veterans of Darkest MuZHaN. Starting out with an early dive in towards the Town Hall, nicely setting up the funnel either way. Whenever you attack from the corner of the base, it can be a little bit tricky to get your Queen directly into the compartment, but 11 has managed to do it flawlessly at the start here, Itsu.
I'm not really the biggest fan of raging up the Queen when she's facing the tunnel when there's no other damage on there, because it's most of the time not needed. I mean, the rage is still great and everything. I feel like the rage could have been a little bit more delayed or something. Either way, so far the Queen charge looks great, but he just says, I don't care about the clan casters too much. I just start my hybrid really early, and now he has a lot of damage on his Queen. He needs to use the Queen ability just to make sure that those super minions are not killing his Queen right through her all ability. And now we have the hybrid slowly making it. The Warden ability most likely really soon to block those eagle shots. Perfect Warden ability. This is looking really good, and the Queen is going to the outside again, taking some more buildings down.
A perfect Warden ability indeed, because he got the Eagle Fire, the Giant Bomb, the Bomb Tower, protected through some of the multi-target Inferno, managing to slowly get through the splash damage here. Things are slowing down a little bit, but with the RC ability still in tow, is this going to be what he needs? The Queen will fall to the single. He's got a lot of Hog Riders and Miners, though, to try and protect the Royal Champion here. Tornado Trap goes off, but it's not really going to do anything at this stage. 11 of Indian Clashers starting out exactly how they needed, getting the 3 stars against the superstars of Darkest MuZHaN. Like you said, Itsu, they were a team that formed last year, but they formed of superstar players, and Indian Clashers
would be a huge thing for them. So let's see. And we have Carl Y on there as well, and he is going in with the Inferno Dragons, a strategy which we have not seen too often today, I feel like, which is kind of surprising. And he's starting off with a couple of Yetis, trying to snipe certain buildings on the outside and create already a funnel.
Yes, we've talked about the success of this strategy. I think it's interesting that he is starting so far down to the south of the base with that Yeti as well, probably going to drive one of his heroes into that section. Like you said, the Electro Dragon is getting pretty good chain damage up the top as well. And now we see the Inferno Dragons diving into the base with that early Grand Warden ability. We do have a Battle Blimp selected. Is he going to send it through the base or from the left-hand side towards the Town Hall? Skeleton spells already being deployed, and he's doing a pretty good job protecting his Inferno Dragons so far. A wise move to send the Battle Blimp from the area that has already been tested. And if he can take this Town Hall down early, it could be pretty helpful for those Inferno Dragons, but they're struggling to get to that multi-target Inferno, Itsu.
Yeah, that multi-target Inferno Tower is really not the easiest to get through. In addition to that, the Queen, which was supposed to take down the Eagle, did not go there right away because the King did not get the entire 3 o'clock compartment. And now it's going to be tricky. There's still so much left, Judo. And I think I'm kind of speechless right now. This might be the lowest percent which we have seen so far with this strategy. Or maybe somehow this strategy is going to turn things around. But I feel like with every single hero ability already used and only one Inferno Dragon left, I don't think that this is going to 3 stars. So this now is all about the percentage that he can get and somehow squeeze out of this attack.
Wow, well, we have talked about, well, mainly last weekend we talked about, is it best to go first as a team or second? For the most part, you said in your experience, going second is better so that you know what's happening. But there was that caveat that if you went first and you took the lead, you put the 3 stars on the board, it would start to put the pressure on your opponent, and Indian Clashers could not be in a better situation right now.
Yeah, that's right. And now we see something completely different compared to the first attack. Even though we're keeping the Queen charge, but this time no hybrid, but instead the Lalo. And now we see a couple of sneaky goblins getting their goal. And as soon as that's done, the Queen charge is going to start right into the 3 o'clock side. So let's see how he's going to deal with that single Inferno Tower. Or maybe he's just going to wall break into that compartment right at the corner of the Dark Elixir Drill. but then he's going to be in between of a lot of damage, so he needs to be perfect with his spells to keep his queen alive.
Bit of a risky dive, but this is Serial's favorite attack strategy, the Queen Charge Lala. We've seen him 3-star with it. He did mix it up in round 2 last weekend and only got the 89% in round 2, but it was the 3 stars in his first matchup. Starting with multiple spells, multiple troop deployment here, Itsu, and I always like to see when, oh, the Super Warbreaker didn't quite get to the center, but fortunately he has a third. Maybe he knew it was going to be a risky wall break, and he does get there. The Queen now can get in towards the multi, and this looks pretty good if that is all he wanted the Queen to get.
This is just looking perfect so far. The Queen Charge is perfect. We said it's not that easy to charge the Queen in there. He's doing that with ease, using all of his heroes right in the beginning. He's trying to go for the enemy eagle as well, which so far is not working that great. But with the Queen taking now onto this enemy defending clan castle, he's just starting things off. But dude, this looks so risky. Is he actually starting off with a ladder from the top side and the Town Hall being one of the last defenses? But I mean, he has the blimp, so maybe he's feeling kind of safe with that and saying, I got this, no problem.
Yeah, I think the battle blimp is going all the way through. There it is. Can he get this? You do have to take risks. If you want to make it to the top, the Queen is on the Town Hall. She can damage that and get it pretty much over. Battle blimp gets there, but he's lost most of his balloons, unfortunately, to the left-hand side with the scatter shot surviving. And I'm not sure he can get this now with a couple of wizard towers left over. A brilliant plan, I would say, with that Queen Charge, particularly because we know Serial prefers to attack towards the end of the war. He's managed to attack fairly high up the list here. Maybe that's where he just didn't have enough time to plan out the Lalo stage. So it's not going to be the 3-star for Indian Clashes, opening the door a little bit for Darkest MuZHaN, but with this type of percentage, Indian Clashes would still be in the lead on percentage, even if they did concede the 3.
Yeah, and this attack, like, the Queen Charge nearly took down the entire base, and then the Lalo did not get that much, which was kind of surprising. Like, the Queen, you saw it taking down the entire right side, even in the end, was damaging the Town Hall. That Queen survived for the minute 2 attacks are going to be really important to the outcome of this matchup.
It is going to be the P.E.K.K.A. Smash variant that we have seen surge into the meta. Where has the Battle Blimp dropped here, Itsu, and what is he using? He has Snickies. Oh, and there is the bombs to get rid of them as well. Can he finish it off? He does. Rage and Freeze spell committed to make sure he got the Town Hall, and that was super important that he did.
Wow, that was such a clean blimp bait in the beginning from Indian Clashers. The biggest problem right now as well, obviously he had to invest a lot of spells to get there, but the even bigger problem I feel like is that he was not able to load the clan castle early. Like, he was only to load a couple of the archers, and you want, if you're investing so much, you obviously want to have the building sound, which he got, but you want to have the extra value in taking down the clan castle early. You want to have that as well, because now he has to face it in the base. The smash just started, the king on the outside with those witches should easily funnel. The smash is going inside, the wallbreak is doing a great job. And now the clan castle is coming out, and now he has to deal with that warning ability. So far he's doing a great job of that, but is this still being enough? Because there are so many archers and headhunters coming out of the clan castle.
That will slow him down, but hopefully these Super Wizards can get through that pretty quickly. I did like the Warden ability nice and early to try and just preserve everything, make sure the Wallbreaker got him access through the base here. Beautiful Jump Spell will give him access to pretty much all of the compartments on the back end. Meanwhile, we have the King charging towards the Eagle Artillery, but nothing going down towards that scatter shot as of the moment, as it just swipes away at the Super Wizards. And down they go alongside the Queen, who is clinging on. Can she make it to the scatter shot? Oh, the healer's taking damage now as well, but they survive. Queen goes down, Scatter's still alive, and with the Royal Champion and the ability, can she get this, Itsu? There's a lot of defenses that she needs to get through.
Oh my god, there are really so many defenses still left. With that scatter, with the Tesla still up, this is going to be close. Royal Champ ability now is getting used, but their scatter is still staying up, and that's still nearly full hit points at this stage. With the defending skeleton trap, I don't think that this is going to be enough. This means this is going to be the next defense for Indian Clashers. They're coming so prepared into this match. You just saw the blimp bait in the beginning. Such an awesome bait right there with the double black mine, making sure the blimp is not getting that far. And then the spring trap with those small bombs make our Clash Life a blimp. So it's not easy to build against that. So really good job. But now we have Indian Clashers on attack, and they're going with the super witches. No lightnings whatsoever. 4 free spells, which leaves in the end 2 rages and 2 jumps. So he wants to get really far into the base without breaking any walls, and this is why he is bringing 6 sneaky goblins.
Saab is Indian Clashers' top performer at the moment with a 95% 2-star in round 1 and the 3-star in round 2. So he wants to keep that momentum going and really put Indian Clashers in the lead here. If you're just tuning in, they are ahead by a star because they got an opening 3-star, but this could move them even further towards tomorrow's matches. Starting with that Grand Warden walk, as you mentioned, just carefully luring out any of the defenses in that area, taking those down so that he can then dive into the right hand side. It's interesting that he's used the jump spell this early, Itsu, because whilst it's not likely to run out, it is a factor that it can happen, and I guess he just wanted to make sure he wasn't focused on dropping that once he was then deploying the troops.
Oh, that Warden is really low on hit points, and he has to use the Warden ability. I mean, the Warden ability was perfect anyways, if we're completely honest. Like, he wanted to use it anyway for the blimp to make sure that it's reaching the Town Hall, and facing the enemy queen is nice as well. So it could have been worse, but the worst thing just happened. The Warden just died. The healers deciding to not heal up the Warden, going for those super witches, and the Town Hall is going down as well. So a lot of things happening at the same time right now, Judo.
Oh, and the Yeti Mites just missed the Expo. They were caught in the tornado trap, which was set there to bait the battle blimp as well. But just the fact of not getting that Expo is a huge deal because he can't get access to it. Even though it has a tiny little bit of health, it's just going to chip away at his troops. And like you said, with the Warden going down, it is such a big deal. Yes, the ability might be a huge part of an attack, but having the HP buff, particularly when you have troops that are high in hit points, can be very important. Now, Saab could certainly still do this. He has 1 minute, he has the Queen ability and a freeze spell, but he's got a huge Tesla farm on the back end of the base, which I feel is going to be the most troublesome, Itsu.
Yeah, the freeze was used onto the scatter, but the scatter was already dead at that point, so that's so unfortunate. The scatter going down and the freeze at the same time. Now the queen somehow has survived. She needs to get out of the range of the Expo, which she is not able to do so. So we have the next defense in this match, which means Darkest MuZHaN still have a chance to come back into this matchup, with Indian Clashers not being able to get as many percentage as they would like to. And especially right now, with this match being kind of close percentage-wise, they obviously would have liked to get more percentage, but this seems like it's going to end up on around 85%-ish, which obviously, is not the thing which they were wishing for.
Yeah, and I feel that is exactly why Indian Clash has made the decision there. I think assuring that.
Yeah, and if Darkest MuZHaN with their team captain Wei would get the next 3-star, there would be actually, I think, 0.2% ahead of Indian Clashers. So this is showing how close this match is. But before that, the MVP of the World Championship 2019 has the 3-star first. And he's starting off with some nice lightnings in the core. Obviously doing some damage already to the enemy World Champion without taking her down. But this is always nice, doing a Lalo attack and having already the enemy defending air targeting heroes damaged first. And now we have the hero part with every single of those 3 heroes getting into the top side, and then obviously the wall break into that enemy queen compartment.
Yeah, finding the Tesla farm up in this area is a good thing, because with the lava loon it can certainly do a lot of damage. But is it going to be the difference maker in him getting the defenses he wants? It doesn't look like it, because with an Ice Golem now just popping, the King charging into the base, he is tearing apart this area of the base, and it is a brilliant hero dive alongside the lightning spells. He now has clear pathing for his Lava Loon, and majority of his spells, well, given the lightning, majority of his spells left over because he used the Ice Golems for the heroes. Oh my word, the Queen is going to get the Eagle, and I hadn't even realized that. And the Tornado. Wow.
I don't think you could get any more value out of your heroes at this point. So Wei is just doing a crazy job of actually getting out of those enemy defenses down. And now we have the Slammer tanking nicely the scatter shot, but actually nothing is going on that scatter, so he needs to do something about that. He has not deployed the Warden just yet. He wanted to wait if there are any like headhunters in the defending flank castle. Now the Warden ability, and there are some more loons reinforcing to make sure the top scatter is going down. Now the next Hound is going to be deployed at the bottom side. The Lalo is making through it. Only the scatter is actually a big threat at this point for the backhand. He has one skeleton spell still left if he wants to place it at some point. The freeze, a haste, judo. This is looking really, really good.
This is incredible, given the fact that the Stone Slammer has not even popped yet. There is all the spell deployment in this compartment to make sure that it goes down. We're not taking any risks here. The Wizard Tower is still alive, but thankfully I think it was on the Warden for the most part, rather than the balloons. So they surge on through, taking down the final defenses, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, the minions should be able to clean up through these storages here, meaning that Darkest MuZHaN are back in action, getting this war to the point where it is neck and neck moving into the next couple of attacks. Indian Clashers will still be in the lead by that little bit, but is he going to get this, Itsu? The gold storage in the middle is not very damaged, and he has the King's Altar with the Lava Hound being popped.
Top left, the loons skipped
drill,
that
yes.
Dark Elixir drill, and this is going to be... No way, the 99 Classic. Oh no, this is not what he was hoping for. There's
not many possible ways left, because he has just gone in there with that 99%. I feel he had to use the balloons for the scatter shot. I think he was probably going to save one or two and then tried to recover it early on. Let's not focus on that. It is all tied up on percentage. Indian Clashers in the lead with that 1 star. And it is Payush with the Mass Witches. Where is he going to use the lightning? He only has 6 of them here with the earthquakes, so it is going to be one of the scatter, getting a bit of damage onto the RC, like you said, but also taking down the Grand Warden statue is a pretty big deal, actually, when he's then diving into this area of the base.
Yeah, it's always looking so interesting to see so many witches, and they're just spawning so many skeletons that it's just crazy. So the Wardwalk so far looks really good, like taking down the defenses and making like a nice cut, because with taking down those 3 buildings, like the 2 archer towers and the elixir storage, there's no way for those witches or the queen to walk to the bottom side. They have no other choice than getting into that single inferno tower, getting into that tunnel with most likely those 2 wall breaks, into the bomb tower, into the tunnel compartment, and then obviously getting into the core with those jumps. And with only having to face 1 multi-inferno tower, the biggest threat to the entire attack is going to be the Eagle. So let's keep a closer look onto the Eagle and what exactly he's going to target, because that could be a huge game changer in this attack. But so far it's looking great. Only the heroes are getting targeted, which is totally fine.
Yeah, it could definitely be a huge game changer due to the fact that you have to deploy all of your witches pretty much together in order to gain that DPS momentum, meaning that he activates the Eagle very early on in the attack. Now the witches are doing okay, and he has split the witches a little bit to avoid any maximized damage from the Eagle artillery, slowly getting to the town hall. But he's not really got amazing pathing here unless he can speed things up at the top to then drive the witches through towards the multi.
Yeah, he definitely needs to take down the scatter as well. Like, the scatter is huge. The scatter is one of the most dangerous defenses against those witches. And this right now is like nicely dealt with having the king and the P.E.K.K.A. and the royal champion on the outside, tanking that scatter shot, making sure the scatter shot cannot target any of those witches. The witches on the other side are going to deal with that single Inferno Tower, which would be a bigger threat to the royal champion, which right now is slowly dealing with that enemy scatter. So this right now is not looking too bad if those witches can quickly deal with that back-end eagle.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty good because he still does have witches alive. If they can spawn the troops quick enough, now that that ice golem has gone down, the wizard towers are going to be a huge deal. But the royal champion is stepping up to help out. Witches survived through this area, so if they can spawn the skeletons quick enough to get through this wall, they might be able to help out. But with 15 seconds remaining, it's all about the time. He's got a wizard at the top with some huge buildings to take down, and Darkest MuZHaN did just see the agonizing 99%. Peyush is going to have that same feeling. Even though it's not a 99 in itself, it is a time fail.
Kind of like take a look at what they're coming up with next. And we have Tai, one of the strongest attackers in this tournament so far. And he's coming with a kind of creative approach. He's going in with the mass Inferno Dragons, even though he's not bringing as many as usual. Instead, he's bringing a golem, an ice golem. So I'm looking for that. Like, let's see what he has in store for us.
Yeah, it looks like he's diving his heroes a little bit further into the base. We mentioned the Eagle Artillery and how important it is for the Inferno Dragon attack. He's going to take that down early on and also diving towards a scatter shot as well. But the Queen has walked a little bit here. He wanted her around towards the scatter. The Golem is pretty much tanking nothing right now. Not the opening Tai needed here, Itsu.
Oh yeah, that was really unfortunate. You want to take down at least one of the two scatter shots, making sure there's not as much splash damage for his Inferno Dragons. And now out of this investment for basically nothing, like the entire golem was not really worth it. This could have been like a ton of more Inferno Dragons. So this is going to be interesting now how he can deal with this double scatter shot, because the Inferno Dragons are just ignoring the scatter shot for now, which is never a good thing. Just take a look at how much damage this one scatter can deal to the group of Inferno Dragons. Now the blimp is slowly making it into the Town Hall direction, because the Town Hall still needs to go down as well. With all of those Tesla inside the base, this is so much damage, and still with the super minions as well. But the blimp is sneaking through, should take down the Town Hall, but still, like, just for the Inferno Dragons, there's a lot still standing.
Yeah, at least he did get the Town Hall. The Inferno Dragon's going down fast. He has a lot of spells, Itsu, that he hasn't used yet. Interestingly, he uses the Ice Golem with the Royal Champion. Is he counting on the Royal Champion finishing off this base with free freeze spells and an invisibility? Also the Skeleton Trap. This is interesting. I'm intrigued as to why he saved the spells so much, to be honest with you.
The Royal Champion first off is just skipping the enemy Royal Champion. Now we have an invisible... No! She's just like keep skipping that Royal Champ. And now we have the Ground Expo over there as well. Like a lot of damage on that Royal Champ. He's missing the cannon, which means the Royal Champ is going to go down. And now we have slowly made it to the back end. The Royal Champion, the defending Royal Champion, still alive with one Inferno Dragon and one Electro Dragon. I'm sorry, only one Inferno Dragon still left. And I don't think the Inferno Dragon is going to win the 1v1, no.
I think he did a pretty good job at rescuing the percentage there, because mid-attack, the Inferno Dragons had clumped up. The scatter shot was doing a lot of damage, and he was losing the Inferno Dragons fast. If you had have told me at that point of the attack that he was going to get nigh on 90%, I probably would not have agreed with you. So he's done a pretty good job to keep Darkest MuZHaN in the percentage race.
A percentage 2-star or even a 3-star would make sure that they're going to win this. And now we have the next attack with Super Witches once again. As we already said, those pros love their Super Witches. It's such a strong army composition, and it's working on basically any base.
Yes, we do see the versatility of this attack. Krishvish Noi, with a lot of experience in himself, pulling out the 3 stars as the final attacker versus Queen Walkers last week. So if he can do the same today, he will move Indian Clashers to tomorrow's matches. with that Grand Warden walk, just slowly taking out some of the buildings on the bottom. Doesn't really look like he's going to dive into the base for anything specific, because we tend to see around about a 1 minute Grand Warden walk, and I don't think he will be able to get much more here before he should start the actual attack. Yes, here he comes with the Super Witches.
Yeah, he wanted to take down the elephants, first off to make sure the pathing for the Super Witches is great, they cannot be distracted or anything, and second of all, he wanted to make sure that his healers are safe and they're not getting targeted by this enemy elephants. The wall break so far looks great. The king in the second compartment is a nice idea, because this is giving him the access to the enemy eagle without having his Super Witches getting wall break in there. The down spread to the town looked great as well, and now it's all about how good can those Super Witches deal with their town hall. At the top side, we have the enemy king taken down with those two handhunters. Really great idea of bringing those two handhunters, taking the king down, and this means the Royal Champion has a way easier job. But now those Super Witches are splitting a little bit. The town hall should be taken down. Town hall is going down, and this is looking really, really solid for the back end of this base, with so many Super Witches still alive.
Looks very good in my opinion. The Coco Loons were fantastic. Right as I say that, he does lose a healer. However, the healers have survived throughout the inside of the base, and that is all that matters. He took out a lot of black bombs early on. It is huge to protect your healers, to make sure that your Super Witches can survive, and with the Royal Champion moving through the final Tesla, Super Witches continuing to tank the Expo, Indian Clashers are one step further to winning this match and progressing. What does he have for cleanup towards the top of the base? He does have a king, a wizard, queen's ability. I think it is the 3-star and the victory here at 2 for Indian Clashers.
They were so good over this tournament, over on the defensive side, and now in the last attack in this match, they're going to clutch things out. Such a great attack, really great idea with putting that king a little
MuZHaN. So here we go. After this one, we will be checking out the replays and then into the final matchup of HT Family versus Vatan.
I mean,
Kartek with the dragons. I was kind of close.
Yeah, I just wanted to say you were kind of right with that, bringing the lightnings in there as well with those dragons, something which we have not seen too often, especially, or at least not successful in this tournament. I feel like the only dragon attacks which we have seen so far being successful in this tournament with like dragons was bats with the dragons. No lightning dragon attack so far was successful, I believe. So let's see if August MuZHaN could be the first team to get the 3-star with this strategy. He has 2 lightnings left, which he's going to use for the sweeper. And well, entry-wise, I think this looks pretty solid. He's trying to do like a cut now to make sure his dragons, if he's going to release them into the town hall, they're going to have a really nice pathing into the back end, especially with his heroes now then on the outside, making sure everything is like getting pressured into the core.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing I noticed there was all 4 expos are on ground, so it makes sense to just push the dragons through this central area and keep the heroes on the outside to correct pathing for them and try and keep away from the expos a little bit. You can see the range of the grounded expo obviously on the queen. Dragons do enter the base to the town hall. A nice warden ability will protect them through the Giga Bomb because they do take surprisingly quite a bit of damage. Then they will move on forward, but can they get to this single quick enough as the traps start to go off Itsu and the Clan Castle troops engage? How devastating will this be? They're taking a lot of damage moving through the center of the base now.
Especially with no warden ability left anymore, this is a lot of damage on those dragons. The eagle is shooting non-stop. Always remember, this eagle is going down kind of as the last defense. Now the entire Tesla farm at the core as well. This is dealing so much damage to the dragons. And at this point, there's only 1 or maybe 2 dragons alive. This was such a heavy stack core, and I feel like this base was just designed to defend those dragons, even though they were kind of like running the bait, I would argue, with this ground expos. And you can see there's a back-end air defense anyway, so this base, yeah, there was no chance for the dragons to get through. So really good base from Indian Clashers once again. There, I feel like we can see on the last 8 teams now that the bases have improved as well so much. We saw it already now over all of the matches today. those bases from those pro teams, they are really, really impressive and are defending crazy, crazy good.
They certainly are, and like you said, I would definitely think that was baited from Indian Clashes to try and force your opponent to use A. 4 expos do not make the whole base, and that shows how good they were at defending. Indian Clashes taking the victory, moving on to tomorrow's matches. What a dominant performance, really, Itsu, versus the superstar team. Whilst it was touch and go throughout majority of the war, towards the last couple of attacks, Indian Clashes really stepping things up and pulling out the victory when they needed it most. Sometimes the end of the war is when things get the most tricky as well.
Yeah, in the end, not a single 3-star against their defenses. As you said, against a veteran team like Darkest MuZHaN, that is already a huge achievement in itself already. And I feel like we